Nash! Nash, are you there? If you read this, I've escaped from the aliens. My ship's going down. I think I'm going to crash. I'll activate my Pip-Boy's homing beacon so you can find me.
There she is.
Is she okay?
I hope so. Let's just get to her.
I think they might have an issue with that.
So because we've got less survivors than we have aliens, I'm going to kick off with Nash. He's going to roll for VATS. He gets no VATS for the first round. He's going to take 2 shots into the Toxic Trooper up on the top left hand side. First shot's a hit. The bottle means he ignores 1 armor, and he takes 1 damage from that. Second shot, that's a hit. That also means that the alien is on fire and he takes 2 damage. Toxic Trooper is up next. He's going to take a move down the board because he's just fitted with his small blaster, so he has to get in range. And then he's going to take a single shot into Sarah. That's a hit with a quick action for 3 damage. Sarah takes all 3 damage, so she's down to 1 of her 4 health. She's going to respond by taking 2 shots back into the guy that just shot her. First's a miss. Second one's a hit with a quick action and an armor break. And that trooper takes 2 damage. First of our 3 standard Zetan troopers, he's going to take a single move and a single shot, also into Sarah. That's a hit for a massive 4 damage. Even with her armor, she couldn't block it, so Sarah's unfortunately down for the count. We've got Hope up next. Roll for VATS. Hope gets 1 VATS for this round, so she's going to charge into that trooper that's just moved. And then they're going to do a couple of attacks. That first attack's a hit for 3 damage. And the trooper takes 2. Second one's also hit with an armor break. And that trooper takes a further 2 damage. Second of the 2 troopers is going to take a single move and then a charge to get in combat with Hope in the next round. Giles up next to the survivors. He's going to take a move and then he's going to take a charge to join Hope in the melee in the middle. The third trooper is going to take 1 move and then a shot into Nash. That's a crit, so strong armor bonus is broken, and he manages to block the rest of the damage. Zetan Invader's going to finish out the round here. He's going to take 1 move down the board, And then he's going to take a single shot into Nash. And that is a hit with 2 armor break. Nash doesn't block it, so he takes the 2 damage. So over to round 2, let's have a look at the event card for the second round. We have Eerie Mist, so that means all non-melee attacks are going to be a -2 disadvantage. So we're going to kick off with Nash. I'm going to use one of his 3 quick actions from his fusion core for this round. And he also gets 1 VAT. So he's going to take a move in a charge into the 3rd trooper. And with his Ripper, he's going to do 2 attacks. So that's a hit. And the trooper takes the 2 damage. Second one is a crit with an armor break. And that trooper takes an additional 2 damage. Our 3rd trooper is going to take 2 attacks back into Nash. And that's 2 misses. Hope up next to the survivors. Let's roll for VATs. Nothing for this round. So they're going to carry on chewing down on that 1st trooper. That is a hit for 3 damage and an armor break, and that 1st trooper is down. So they're going to turn their attentions to the 2nd trooper there, give them an extra dice there for manning. That is a hit for 3 damage again, and that trooper takes all the damage. So the 2nd trooper is going to attempt to bonk Hope on the head with a shock baton. That first one's a miss. And that second one's a miss. Giles is going to do a couple of attacks onto that trooper beside them. That's a hit with a quick action and an armor break. Manages to block one and takes one. Second attack. That's also a hit with an armor break. That Zetan takes the 2 damage. They're down for the count. So Giles is going to use his quick action to move into Trooper 3 with Nash. And to finish off the round, the Invader's going to take 2 shots into Hope. That's a hit for 4 damage. Hope takes it all. That's also a hit, so unfortunately that's poor Hope down for the count. Hello, this is future me just popping in to say I forgot about the Toxic Trooper for this round. So didn't get to move, didn't do any actions, but it also meant fortunately he didn't take damage from that fire in round 1. So we're going to kick off round 3, let's have a look at the event card. So we've got Churn Ground for this round, which means that each character for the first move is going to be at 1 distance shorter. So we're going to kick off round 3 with Nash again. He's going to roll for VATs. Big old 2 VATs for this round, so he's going to carry on attacking the Trooper with his Ripper. That is a hit. And the final of the 3 troopers is down. So he's going to use his remaining moves to move up the board to try and get base-to-base contact with Kate. So he ends up just short, so he's going to have to leave that for the next round to see if he can revive her. So up next to the Zetans, we're going to have the Toxic Trooper. He's going to take 2 shots into Giles. That's a hit with a quick action. He does 3 damage. Giles takes 2. And his second shot Giles is going to turn around and use his flamer on the toxic trooper that just attacked him. That's a hit with an armor break. Don't think he can really be more on fire. Doesn't really matter anyway, because he's down for the count. And then he's going to charge into close combat with the Invader. And the Invader, very little choice over his weapons. He's going to take 2 attacks with his shock baton into Giles. And that, thankfully, is 2 misses. So we're over to round 4 next. The event card is Raider Radio 3. Unless I draw a Mysterious Stranger card, which I don't think is going to happen anywhere. That's going to have little effect for the rest of the match, I think. So we're going to kick off again with Nash. He's got 2 VATs again. So he's simply going to take a couple of strides up, inject Kate with the stim pack, get her up, and get her off the side of the board. And that's the end of the match.
Thank you all for coming to get me.
No problem, Kate.
So then, what did they do to you?
They made me fight in some twisted game.
That all?
Yes.
No probing?
No.
Are you sure? I've heard they really like their probing. No? They definitely probed her.
Let's just get back.
So, successful mission for the survivors, managing to get up the board and rescue Kate. It really came down to, I think, the shooting and melee skills of the Zetans. They've got a shooting skill of 8, but they've only got a melee skill of 3, so once they get engaged in close combat, they've got less chance of hitting, but they kind of had to tie up the survivors to save them getting up the board to get to Kate. So anyway, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
This is Bob. He's just your average Bob trying to get by. This is Brenda, a vault girl with a can-do attitude. When they met, it was love at first probe. But a Zetan and a human? That just can't work, can it? Well, Bob and Brenda are proving that wrong in this zany comedy coming this fall from the ZEN. They're joined by Uncle Bobby, Bob's cantankerous uncle, and introducing Frank, their next-door neighbor, who's always popping round for a bite. With special guest star Crazy Mel.
I can't find my shoes.
Oh, Mel! So join Bob, Brenda, Uncle Bobby, their next-door neighbor Frank, and maybe a special guest star along the way. Bob and Brenda, coming soon to ZEN.